cat's out of the bag, and so are the dragons, and the vampires, and the wizards. It's time for Commander 2017. Hello everybody, welcome back to Commanding Magic Season 2. It's Episode 7, Travis and Brandon here, and boy Brandon, it's a special day indeed.
Oh man.
It's the day we've been waiting for a long time. Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, Commander 2017's been out, and we've known about the whole set for a while now, but It's time for us to sit down and really kind of tear into this and see what we think. So, I was listening back to when we were doing our predictions, and you know it was funny, because so it's obvious, right? Like to everybody right now that's watching, but it's like, yeah, okay, tribal was the theme of this year's Commander product, and one of those tribes was cats, right?
Right.
So, I mean, when we were talking about it, we even read in the article, what was the name of that card? Wildy Bandar.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I spelled that. It's
like a Wildy Bandar of a set.
Bandai.
This card from
Ground. Yeah, here we go. And it's a cat monkey, so it's like I feel like we really got thrown a huge bone there, but I feel like we just totally didn't put two and two together.
Way too much into it.
I think one of us may have said something about like cats or monkeys or something like that, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's just funny that was there the whole time, you know. And I don't know. It was.
Well, I knew it had to be tribal though.
Did you?
When they said that, like, yeah, and then not too long after that, I mean, after we'd stopped recording anything, we got the leaks,
right,
of the dragons that came out. We were like, well, okay.
Yeah, and it was funny. It's really funny when stuff like that comes out. How people are like, oh, that's fake. Oh, that's not fake. Oh, it's fake. It's like this big controversy on whether or not these leaks are fake. But yeah, so we have 4 decks, and we have, what is it? We have a 5-color deck, 2 3-color decks,
and a 2-color deck.
And a 2-color deck. Am I right? Is that right?
Which, yes.
Yeah.
Going forward, Commander sets will always be 4 decks now, not 5. And we're not going to have them based around color pairs. It's not going to be all 5-color decks or all 3-color decks or whatever. It's all going to be based around a theme. So going forward, that's what we have to expect.
Yeah.
So take that as you will. Considering I was still holding out hope for the other 5 2-color decks, which I know Travis was too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I can't really say that I'm super disappointed in what we got like here. I'm a little bit disappointed in 1 or 2 of the tribes. I kind of think I would have preferred something a little, not necessarily obscure, but something less loved, I guess. But we'll get into that.
The only thing I'm disappointed in is the mage deck, or the wizard deck, and the vampire deck. There's just like not many good vampires in that deck.
I mean,
for whatever reason, they won't print double face card in supplemental product.
Oh, is that a thing?
It's a thing.
I don't know. So, I mean, let's just, before we even really get into the cards, we'll just, cat's out of the bag. Haha. Pun not intended, actually. That was just, like, off the top of my head. Cats, wizards, vampires, dragons. I thought that cats was a cool tribe to get some love. I mean, in the end, vampires, like, okay, sure. I mean, it's an iconic tribe.
Right.
And it has... I don't want to say that it has no support, because it does. Like, there's plenty of vampires out there, but like wizards has, I don't know. I feel like wizards has like a ton of support. Like wizards is like really
like
powerful.
The wizards themselves didn't even get that much support in this deck.
You think they just like threw the wizard tag on things and
just about
that was it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't even necessarily mean like Wizards has like a ton of support. I just mean that like we got cats as one of them, which was like something that we didn't really have so much support for at all. you know? So who knows? Perhaps by my logic that we shouldn't have gotten dragons, vampires, or wizards. It should have been like cats, minotaurs.
Horses.
I mean, just something that's like, and I know that they were like, oh, they're going to be based on some of Magic's most iconic tribes or whatever. I mean, sure. I don't know. I'm not dissatisfied with like what we actually got in the decks. I don't, it's hard to put into words. It's like a love-hate type of thing, you know?
We'll say this. You know, we didn't just get legendaries that would headline the decks themselves. Like in the Dragons deck, we got a blue-white Tygam.
Yeah.
So
that's...
we got Wasatora in the Dragon deck, which is a Jund commander.
Yeah,
we'll
so
get to,
that kind of gets into the fact that they're just, at least in those decks, how they're looking a little bit beyond just like strictly saying, oh, you know, 5-color dragons, you get 3 5-color legendary dragons or whatever, you know.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. It opens up options for different colors. So yeah, like you said, we got, what's the name of that guy? He's down here somewhere. Yeah, we got like blue-white Tygam, but then we also got blue-black Tygam.
Mm-hmm.
So just opening up options for other routes you could take. And so I think I've actually, now that I've had a split second to actually like kind of think about it while you were talking, what I really mean when I say it's like a love-hate thing with this, I feel like in the sense of like Commander, like since we're so much not on the competitive side, that I kind of would have hoped that like it would have been more like goofy tribes. I think cats are a goofy tribe. I really do. You know what I mean? So I kind of like hope that it would have followed suit, and we would have gotten other just like a little bit more obscure type things.
Now I will say this, and you know we'll get to all this here in a little bit. But the Kindred cycle, I love how they did the art for that and how they handled it.
What do you mean?
Because you know the white's got humans on it, blue is merfolks, black is demons, red's goblins, and green is elves.
That's cool. I honestly can say that I didn't truly notice that.
So, just something I thought I'd point out that I appreciated.
Yeah. So, getting into it, we're gonna go over the commanders first that we got in these decks, starting with the first tribe that we got during spoiler season, which was cats, and Erebos, Roar of the World. Man, what a card he is! They took a tribe that didn't really have anything outside of mono white, and they made it green white, and they made a good green white. Like they made a few, but like this guy is just crazy. So for 5 mana, 3 a white and a green, you have a 5/5. He's a cat avatar with the one of the new keywords of the set, Eminence.
Which is great. That's a fantastic keyword.
Oh yeah. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, if Erebos, Roar of the World is in the command zone or on the battlefield, another target cat you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn. That's nuts.
Giant growth for free.
Like, and that's kind of, Eminence is kind of drawing off of the same thing that they did with Aloro back then, you know, who still influenced the battlefield while he was in the command zone. But this is just great. This turns like your 2 for a 2/2 cats into 5/5s. You know what I mean?
Right.
It really lets you be aggressive in the way that I feel like green white loves to be aggressive.
So right on your turn 3, your 2/2 little cat is a 5/5 swinging in.
Yeah. So
that's value.
Yeah, definitely. But there's another ability. So whenever another cat you control attacks, you may pay 1, a green and a white. If you do, it gains trample and gets +X/+X, where X is its power. So
now,
cool.
This one doesn't work from the command zone, right?
No, this is not part of Eminence. So this only works while he's out.
They're two, just to, be clear to anybody who's new to Commander, might be, listening in. These are 2 completely separate things.
Yeah. So let's just say, for instance, you have Erebos out, and you have your 2/2, your 2 for a 2/2. He'll get +3/+3, and for 3 mana, you'll give him +X/+X, where X would be 5 in this case. So he would be a 10/10 with trample, plus whatever else you might do to him. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't know. This just seems like insanely solid. And I'll say though, in the grand scheme of how the way that I think cats are meant to be played, just because of what we're going to go over in a little bit here, and then what we've seen in the past for cats. This is not the most flavorful, but is just really, really cool.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
What's missing from the cat deck?
What's missing?
Like as a reprint?
What's that?
Brimaz. Missing from the cat deck.
I mean, that's still a pretty, like, expensive card anyway.
Yeah, but still, like, fit great in the deck.
Yeah.
If you're looking for upgrades, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure. So next up, how about you tell us about Miri?
Yeah, I mean, you're just as excited about Miri as I am. Travis,
Miri, Tiny Leaders Duelist.
Yeah, you could say that. So, Miri, Weatherlight Duelist, 1 green and a white for a cat warrior. She's a 3/2. She's got first strike, and whenever Miri, Weatherlight Duelist attacks, each opponent can't block with more than 1 creature in this combat.
Jesus, that's just so good.
So good.
Like crazy in Tiny Leaders, I feel.
Yep.
But still a force to be reckoned with in the 99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's got more.
Yeah.
So as long as Miri, Weatherlight Duelist is tapped, no more than 1 creature can attack you each combat.
Yeah, so it punishes your opponent, or it pressures your opponent when you attack with her, and then it punishes your opponent for, like, so let's say she doesn't have vigilance, so you're benefiting when you're attacking, and even after you attack, you're benefiting.
Mm-hmm.
And so and like I was saying, it punishes your opponent if they want to try to pull any shenanigans that would, like, tap creatures of yours.
Mm-hmm. Now to segue into probably what Travis really wants to talk about, she makes a great Voltron commander.
Yeah, it's funny because I never even thought of that. Like, I'll say it. Like, I'm gonna make green white cat equipment type things. However, I'm not super on the Voltron train. Like, when I play with equipment, I like to spread them out. I don't like to suit up and just go for broke. Like, that's not me.
When I was thinking, because I really want to build a deck around Miri.
Uh-huh.
When I don't want to go crazy competitive, but the route that I immediately look at is Voltron and Exalted.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because that works perfect with her abilities.
I think it's really awesome that we are seeing Miri, because I feel like that just opens up a ton of possibilities in the future. Mm-hmm. Like, let's get the rest of the Weatherlight crew, like Gerard and Squee. He was on the Weatherlight, right?
Yeah.
And all the other guys that were on there.
Let's get
Sisse, right?
Version of Karn before
Sisse was the captain, right? And Hannah was the Hannah was the navigator.
Yep.
I don't know, dude.
We're gonna go with that.
I think that's actually what it was, though.
Yes, it was.
And then down here in the viewer, I have the original Miri Cat Warrior, the 3 for a 2/3 with first strike, Forest Walk, and Vigilance.
Oh man, Forest Walk.
Right, dude. Land Walk in this day and age just seems weird to me.
Yep.
So I don't know why they sorted these like this.
I know, it bugs me.
Next up is one of the ones that really got me excited. It's Nazan, Revered Bladesmith. So for 4 white and a green, we have a 5/4 Cat Artificer, which is pretty cool. I think we actually talked about Artificers in our predictions as a tribe. Yeah, it's just kind of funny that it showed up here. So when Nazan Revered Bladesmith enters the battlefield, search your library for an equipment card and reveal it. If you reveal a card named Hammer of Nazan this way, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, you may tap target creature defending player controls. That's a really great ability.
Okay, so Travis.
What's that?
What is Hammer of Nazan?
It's awesome, and I'm glad that we are seeing something that worked this way. This is a first.
Right.
I'm pretty sure this card is unique in the way that it works. So, Hammer of Nazan is an equipment for 4 mana. It's a legendary artifact, and when it or another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach that equipment to target creature your control, which is amazing, first of all. Mm-hmm. And then equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has indestructible. Like, my God. The equip cost is 4, but
Right.
remember,
But
when
if
this
he
card
chooses
is...
up, you equip it to himself, and he's got +2/+0 indestructible.
Or, yeah, and then whenever anything else comes out, you attach it to whatever else you want, and it's free.
Right.
Because, man, the synergy, like, I don't want to say synergy. It's not like saying synergy just seems stupid. Like, it's just the combo, you know, like the combo
Right.
that's printed onto the cards. They just work with each other. That's just how it works. Like, and
Yeah.
I'd love to see more stuff like this in the future. When it comes to building the cat commander deck, I am super torn between using Erebos or this guy. Because this guy's like the flavor pick, right? But
Right.
Erebos is the power
The
pick.
power pick.
Yeah, so, and even when I was looking through all my cats and stuff, I was like, man, it's going to seem really weird. Because, like, cards like Adorn Pouncer, like, flavorfully attaching a Sword of Fire and Ice to that is just weird. Is weird, you know? And so it's like, do I want to just, like, keep it as, like, Leonin, you know? But that, like, blocks me out of so many other cats. You know what I mean? So it's like, it really depends on, it's like, I want to build for flavor, but it's difficult. Because some of the, like, Leonin cats are just not great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
how about we take a trip into Mono White and talk about Elan Wandering Knight?
oh, I forgot all about that. We're
Keep
just
a little bit up.
I found
Up.
him. Yeah, I found him.
All right, so for 2 and white, we got a 3/3 Cat Knight, which is fantastic art, by the
Oh
way.
yeah, he looks amazing.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
but it's just such a shame that all the new legendaries, like only the 3-color or the leading legendaries got foiled. Like Balan and Tygam and all the other ones didn't.
Yeah, so yeah, only the main
the main 3.
ones are So,
which sucked, but it's whatever.
but
Anyway, he's a 3/3 with first strike, and Balan Wandering Knight has double strike as long as 2 or more equipment are attached to it.
tight. That's not hard.
Fine. 1 and a white, attach all equipment you control to Balan.
He just becomes an equipment magnet.
Right?
That would be cool if it was attach all equipment to
Oh
him.
man.
He just like steals them from everyone on both sides of the field.
Yep.
But yeah, I think this card's great. This card, it's like flavor. It goes in the deck just fine.
He's a
of
great
course,
alternative to Kemba.
because
or
it
what's
was
the other
built
one?
to go in the deck. But you know,
Yeah. So
Kemba
instead of just
or-
playing Kemba or
Raksha.
Raksha Golden Cub, yeah,
Yeah.
you can play this guy.
Yeah, I don't think there's much
like
more to
this
be
guy
said
better.
about it. Yeah, I think this guy is awesome, and he's gonna be in the deck. There you go.
Mhm.
There you go. What other creature goodies have we had in the cat deck? We had an interesting card called Alms Collector. When I saw this card, I was just like, huh? So Alms Collector is 3 and a white for a 3/4 with flash. It's a cat cleric, so it goes in the cleric deck too. So keep that in
Yes.
mind. I wish we would have gotten clerics. That's what I want.
Thank
Instead of
you.
lizards, I wanted clerics.
I did.
There we go.
So bad.
Yeah, that's
It looked like that commander artwork was going to be clerics. too.
yeah. Like, come on, man. Anyway, if an opponent would draw 2 or more cards, instead you and that player each draw cards. So you're essentially like stealing a card draw from your opponent, which is really cool. Just because of, I mean, in Commander you tend to want to run some powerful card advantage spells, no matter what color you're playing. So whether it be green, blue, black, red, white doesn't really have much of that, but
Yeah.
each of the other colors has some pretty substantial card draw. And when you have this guy out, and so let's reading this word for word. If an opponent would draw 2 or more cards, instead you and that player each draw cards. So if your opponent were to use a spell that say would just have them draw 5 cards, they wouldn't, but you and them would each draw 1.
Correct.
It's pretty cool. Like, it's a really
Yeah.
interesting way to like limit that type of thing.
It's
Like
a
it-
great thing to use against Travis. And
Yeah, I love drawing cards.
I'll tell you all about it.
Stalking Leonin is awesome. I mean, I'd love to talk about it, but you're more than welcome to talk about it.
No, you can go ahead.
Also very unique. 3 for a 3/3 cat archer. And when it enters the play, enters the battlefield, secretly choose an opponent. And then reveal the player you chose. Exile target creature that's attacking you. If it's controlled by the chosen player, activate this ability only once. That's awesome.
I mean, good luck secretly choosing an opponent in 1v1. I'm just gonna,
Yeah, watch. This is going to be one of those cards like Vile Smasher that's going to get banned. in 1v1. But yeah, I think this card's great too. Just the card is like the way it's worded is really awesome. The fact that he's like a sniper, it fits. The art is great.
The art's fantastic.
Yeah, I am into it. What about Hungry Lynx?
What about Hungry Lynx?
What a card. What a card they've made.
Right? I love the token. The little rat token's great.
So what's Hungry Lynx?
Hungry Lynx. Got 1 green for a 2/2, so it's fine on curve. Cats you control have protection from rats. Flavor win.
It makes sense. Yeah, you've done it, Wizards.
At the beginning of your end step, target opponent creates a 1/1 black rat creature token with Death Touch. Okay. Doesn't matter because your cats have protection.
Got it.
And whenever a rat dies, put a +1/+1 counter on each cat you control. Whew.
So I have like this thing where I super hate micromanaging in Magic.
Right.
But I always end up with like there are some very good cards that deal with +1/+1 counters. But I have to admit, I hate effects that put 1 on every creature you control. That's so much extra crap you have to do. But don't get me wrong, this is a great card. It's just a personal thing for me. But yeah, this card's fun. The flavor's there. I honestly, it's like I have it in the deck, that like my prototype deck right now. I don't know if I want to keep it in because like I just don't know how effective it's gonna be. I guess I'll try it out, but we'll see. Kasali Slingers is something that I wasn't expecting, but I'm super stoked about.
Yeah.
5 for a 3/5 cat warrior. It has reach, and whenever Kasali Slingers or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is the story of a girl. This is that one card. What is it? Aura Shards with legs.
Right.
And I think that's awesome because it's funny. I stopped running Aura Shards because someone got really salty about it when we were playing Commander one time. It was like about Aura Shards and like the amount of removal that it provided. So I just kind of stopped running it. I haven't run it in like any deck since. So this card is going to be my fix for that type of thing, I guess. So I think that that about does it for the cats that we have. So let's move on through the tribes and go through the different creatures that go with it, and then we'll move on to like the artifacts and spells and stuff after that.
Right. Okay.
So what's next, Brandon?
Dragons.
Dargans.
The dragons. 5-color dragons.
I'm gonna have you take the point on a lot of these because I'm really curious to see what your opinion is on these. Because like I've had the dragon deck for a long time, and I have an opinion on where dragons is now that this has come out.
Right.
But I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
I don't like Ramos is my favorite dragon out of them.
Okay.
Only because,
So let's start off with the Big Papa though.
All right. So, the Ur-Dragon.
The Ur-Dragon. This is
the Ur-Dragon, not the Scion.
Yeah.
This is the original dragon, the Ur-Dragon.
Yep.
As you would. Mm-hmm. So it costs 4, and then the full bird, right?
It's many
10/10 dragon
manas.
avatar. Mm-hmm. So he's got the new keyword Imminence. As long as the Ur-Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield, the dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast.
Man.
Not bad.
So,
by the way, I just want to point this out if anybody does not realize, those are scaled dragons in the artwork.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
So the cost reduction is something that I think is cool, but at the same, because dragons cost a lot.
Right.
But boy, I think this card is just very powerful. I mean, I guess like Erebos really powerful too. But in the grand scheme of things, there are more. The support goes the distance with the Ur-Dragon, where it may not as much with Erebo, just because like the amount of powerful cats that you have access to is pretty limited. The amount of powerful dragons you have access to is damn near like bottomless at this point.
And they printed half of them in this deck.
Yeah. So anyway.
So after that, he's got flying, as you would. And whenever one or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards, and you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. It's just a permanent.
Yeah.
Dragon, just anything. That's a permanent. Just slap it on the field and you're done.
I don't know. Like that, just the draw thing. It's like it couldn't have been like draw that many cards, period. Or whenever a dragon you control attacks, you put the permanent. Why did it have to be both? Like this is just crazy. Like that's so many things that you're doing. That's the card advantage that you're getting off of that is just nuts.
It's crazy. But then you have to think, you gotta weigh the cost of playing a 5-color deck, right?
I guess, yeah. You have to kind of really sort out your mana and fix your colors.
Has access, which even the deck itself has a shit mana base. Like it's got all of the tri-lands in it. It's got no
It really does. It has all the tri-lands in it. I honestly haven't really looked at the complete deck list that closely. I've just looked at the exclusive cards.
Oh, when you have bought all 4 and have had a chance to go through them.
Oh yeah. So yeah, what else does this deck come with that we don't see? Like,
I had to grab it. I already sorted through all of the stuff the other day when I was getting my.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Stuff out. But it comes with all vivid lands, all 5 of them. But it doesn't.
But those are all like
reason.
So it comes with all the tri-lands.
All the tri-lands.
So many come into play tap lands, dude.
Right. That's all I'm saying. This mana base for this deck is terrible. But so obviously, if you're gonna pick it up, you got to make some changes.
Yeah, if you want it to really work for you, there's plenty of other lands that come into play untapped.
Like when my first 5-color deck was Slivers, and I put that together without a great mana base, and it worked okay. But then when I started putting together allies and realized I'm trying to go fast, I can't have that many tap lands come in. I just have to have lands come in untapped and be able to get me the mana that I need.
Yeah, so I mean, like I guess like part of the argument could be, oh, well, you're just gonna play the first few turns. You're gonna be just playing your lands tapped because a lot of your dragons cost a bunch. But my argument for that is that the way that I played the dragon deck when I had it was I had a bunch of like mana dorks and stuff that like ramped me and stuff. So I wanted my lands to be coming into play untapped so I could ramp faster.
Yep. But yeah, so I feel like that's kind of where that second ability comes from, is that it helps you draw and then just put a permanent out. You could put a land out if you want, if you're that far behind. So, you know.
Yeah, this probably is the most powerful of.
Oh, I almost guarantee that it is the most powerful of the four.
So what's next?
Oh, Kagachi, Vengeful Kami. Come all the way back to Kamigawa for this shiz.
Which is interesting.
So, cost 1 and then the full Wooburg for 6/6 with flying and trample. Whenever Kagachi, Vengeful Kami, deals combat damage to a player, if that player attacked you during his or her last turn, exile target non-land permanent that player controls.
I don't understand why this ability is what it is.
I don't really either.
Flavorfully, I don't get it.
I'm sure there is something there.
Yeah.
With the flavor.
I like that he's a spirit. Now we have like something like good for the spirit deck that if you don't, yeah, I think that's could be cool. I think that blue-white spirits is still super fun, but or Abzan spirits, but this makes it so you can throw them all together.
But yeah, and that's something Wizards tried to kind of do. They stuck with their 4, but then they gave Cat Dragon. What the hell? You got Cat Dragons?
Yeah, I think that we've pretty gone over Okagachi as much as we could because spirit. I like the fact that he's a spirit. He has trample. He's a big dragon guy, and there you go.
Mm-hmm. So next, we gotta scroll all the way down here. We gotta talk about Ramos, the Dragon Engine.
Oh, okay. I had the other one up.
Oh, Wasatora.
Yeah. Ramos.
So Ramos, 6 mana, legendary artifact creature dragon. He's a 4/4. He's got flying. Giant dude. Like, seriously, that's a giant dragon.
That's right. His wings look badass.
Right? So whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Ramos Dragon Engine for each of that spell's colors.
Can dig.
Right? So you cast a 3-color spell, 3 counters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cast an artifact, he gets none because it's no colors. So, moving on, remove 5 +1/+1 counters from Ramos. Add 2 of each color to your mana pool.
All right.
Activate this ability only once each turn.
I'll cast my Progenitus. I'll use my Door to Nothingness to make target player lose the game. The possibilities are endless.
Right?
That's a lot of mana.
You when it says activate only once each turn, but still.
Yeah, that's a lot of mana that you're floating off of that.
Right?
I remember we had a conversation the other day. I was thinking it would be fun to rebuild like Reaper King, but not have it necessarily be like super based around Scarecrows, but to have like funny stuff like Progenitus and this guy and Door to Nothingness and like the Bringers from Fifth Dawn.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So each turn you're adding 2 of each Wooburg to your pool and then doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But I definitely think this card is not like, I don't want to say he's not powerful, but he's not like absurd. I don't really think. I don't know.
Like I haven't, added anything from the new set to any of my decks yet, but I am putting this guy into allies as a support card.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool.
Adding 10 mana lets you do even crazier things.
Yeah, seems good to me.
Cast 3 or 4 cheap cost allies and boom.
Mm-hmm.
Triggered, then cast the rest of them.
Yeah. So the last of the legendary dragons from here, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Last of the dragons.
Wasatora.
Nikoru Queen.
Oh yeah, it is Wasatora.
It's another one that comes from Kamigawa. So
okay.
You gotta kind of say it like that when you understand.
Gotcha.
So it's 2 and Jund colors for 5/4 Cat Dragon.
Cat Dragon, which
Cat Dragons, the tokens.
Whatever,
I wish
man.
I could show you on here, but the tokens are adorable. Talking about cats earlier today,
Right.
Whenever Wasatora Nikoru Queen deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. Okay. If the player can't, you create a 3/3 black, red, and green cat dragon creature token with flying.
Interesting.
Yep.
Another one that I don't quite understand, but still pretty cool.
Fine.
I like the fact that it has trample. Like flying and trample is a really good combination. I don't know.
Right.
Just to have.
I don't know how it does as a commander.
Yeah.
I'm sure it fits into the 99 pretty well.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe there's going to be a breakout deck with this guy.
Right.
So we still have a few more dragons to go over. And one of those dragons is Scalelord Reckoner. Scalelord Reckoner is 3 and 2 white for a 4/4 with flying, and whenever a dragon you control becomes the target of a spell or ability and opponent controls, destroy target non-land permanent that player controls.
Damn.
It's pretty good, man.
I think this is one of the best cards.
Yeah.
Aside from the commanders that got printed.
Yeah, as far as like cards that support their tribe, this card is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It just punishes your opponent for trying to get rid of your stuff.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. We have Boneyard Scourge. It's a 2 and 2 black for a 4/3 zombie dragon. Has flying, and then whenever a dragon you control dies while Boneyard Scourge is in the graveyard, you may pay 2. If you do, return Boneyard Scourge from your graveyard to the battlefield. This card is also very powerful.
It's great.
Yes, it is. Just for like, I don't know, for like a sack outlet or just like a, for playing the game. You play this guy, he goes to the graveyard. Oh no, another dragon might goes to the graveyard. Here we go. Boneyard Scourge is back. Like, it keeps the pressure on.
Yep.
For a minimal mana investment, really.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have
Hellkite.
more like territorial blurry as Hellkite.
Right.
So for 2 and 2 red, we have a 6/5 with flying and haste. So on the surface, this card is awesome.
This guy's fantastic.
So at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose an opponent at random that Territorial Hellkite did not attack during your last combat. Territorial Hellkite attacks that player this combat if able. If you can't choose an opponent this way, tap Territorial Hellkite. So
It's unplayable in 1v1. I'll just tell you that right now.
right, but I think this card is even kind of cool in like a 3-player situation. It just
Right.
attacks the opposite one every turn.
Yeah. But in the situation where you're playing more 1v1 games than you are multiplayer games, like we would be right now.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to use this card.
No.
Um,
But other than that, it's great as a 4-mana flying haste 6/5.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd play it.
Like, holy moly. So, what did we have next? It was vampires, right? Or was it wizards?
We still had a Tygam, Ojitai Master, that came in the Dragon's deck.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. I was just looking for dragons.
Right. He's a great dragon support dude.
Yeah.
But he's also great by himself.
So what's he do?
Tygam, Ojitai Master, 2 white and blue for a 3/4, human monk, instant sorcery, and dragon spells you control can't be countered by spells or abilities.
So, like,
It's fine.
yeah, I mean, just in the dragon deck is great, but even not in the dragon deck, even if you're using this guy as your commander, just having instants and sorceries that you cast, like, making them uncounterable is really powerful anyway.
Yep. But there's more. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, if Tygam Ojitai Master attacked this turn, that spell gains Rebound. And for anybody who doesn't know what Rebound does, exile the spell as it resolves at the beginning of your next upkeep. You may cast that card from exile without paying its mana cost. Whew. As soon as I get some free time, I am changing Brago around to Tygam Ojitai Master. It is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, so the only thing I'd say about this is, like, making sure you can attack with him and have him, like, stay alive.
Right.
You know what I mean? To get you that type of rebound stuff, so.
Yeah, other than that, he's a fantastic support card for the Dragon deck, and he's fantastic as a commander.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So now we have wizards.
Next was vampires.
Oh,
actually.
was it wizards? Fuck,
Wizards was last. I'm sorry.
So we finally, like, you know, we had Soren Markov, and we knew, like, that. I don't know, what did we know about this guy? Like learning about Edgar Markov, we got, like, some sort of spoiler, didn't we? Where I think it was just the artwork that we got spoiled for this guy, and then people were like, "Oh, that has to be."
Oh yeah, it was very clearly vampires just by that artwork.
Yeah, and I think people just guessed who this was.
Yeah,
or by this was like, where is this guy mentioned otherwise? I don't even know. Like flavor text or something.
I've not followed very much in Strahd lore.
Gotcha.
So.
So this is what the heck is it? The Mardu, the Mardu deck.
Which, by the way, like I predicted it, even though I'm sure it had already been predicted.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a guess that the vampire deck was going to be Mardu colors, and I was right.
I think it makes the most sense for it to be that way.
So happy because it just adds other options.
Yeah, and in Ixalan we're seeing white vampires, so
right
there you go.
It's almost like they did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Weird. So
just like having cats in Almond Cat.
So for 3, a red, a white, and a black, we have a 4/4 Vampire Knight. His Eminence ability is whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token. Period.
Man.
No flying, no lifelink, nothing like that. But still,
It's
like, doubling your creature production is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Or vampire spells. So if you have any, like, instants or sorceries that are vampire, that are like tribal, I don't think there are any.
I don't think there are any.
But first strike and haste, cool. And whenever he attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. Very powerful. There you go.
Yeah.
Very aggro. Has vampires want to be, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I have to say about that. Next up is Lycia. And this card looks awesome. Look at that
right,
artwork, dude. Like, is this like Theros? Is that what this is supposed to be?
No.
No?
That is not Theros.
That's what it looks like.
That is somewhere akin to Theros, but not Theros. That's Roman.
Yeah.
We had it was all Greek
stuff
in Theros.
Yeah. So
like I showed this art to Heather, and I asked her, if she could make a guess on what this is inspired by. What would she say? like having no idea what the card even did.
Uh-huh.
Just like looks like a Roman character.
There you go.
Like, yeah.
So what's Lycia do?
Lycia, Sanguine Tribune, 5 and a red, white, black for a 4/4 vampire soldier. Lycia, Sanguine Tribune, costs 1 less to cast for each 1 life you gain this turn. Okay, she's got that
that's
first
pretty
strike
cool.
life link. Yeah. And you pay 5 life, so all that life you gained, you got to spend it somewhere, right?
Yep.
But 3+1/+1 counters on Lycia. Activate. I like how it says just Lycia. It doesn't say Lycia, Sanguine Tribute.
Yeah, it's a little
Which
shortcut.
is interesting.
Yeah.
But activate this ability only on your turn and only once each turn.
Okay.
I wish it was better. I really do.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, if you use it as a commander, like it opens it up to like just a stupid like one shot. If you just can, pay a ton of life real quick. I don't know. I think they kind of had to make it that way, but I feel like the cost reduction is good in like the sense of a commander,
Yeah.
But other than that, this card's like just kind of mediocre, I think.
I want to make a deck with her as the commander, but I just can't. Just can't do it.
Yeah.
Rather than that,
what about this other guy?
Malthus,
Fiend Seeker. So this is just 1 red, 1 white, and 1 black. So 3 for a 3/3 vampire with menace. And then at the beginning of your end step, put a bounty counter on target creature and opponent controls. For as long as that creature has a bounty counter on it, it has, when this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. We've seen bounty somewhere before, Brandon.
Have we?
Yeah.
It's almost like we reviewed a set with bounty counters.
Yeah. The old Star Wars The Gathering set, the bounty hunters, the bounty hunter tribe was based around like bounty counters. And I think it's like for me to say, oh, they stole this from that set. Like, I don't know if that's really a fair statement. Like, the idea of putting a bounty on something, I don't think that's something that you can really like make exclusive, or I don't know. Like, you know what I've been seeing lately? This is a little bit non sequitur, but like people just like comparing cards in Hearthstone that are exactly Magic cards.
Yeah.
That
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like their keywords might be slightly different, but it's like, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Can you build a deck around this guy?
Yes, I want to, and I'm going to.
So what kind of cards are you gonna have in it?
All silly stuff. It's gonna be not quite like rogues and assassins. It's gonna be people out for. It's not gonna be half removal in the deck, Travis. I promise.
Oh God.
But it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
I'll tell you that much.
I believe you. Maybe.
Okay. After the last one, huh?
So, Patron of the Vein. 6 for a 4/4 vampire shaman, has flying, enters the battlefield, destroy target creature opponent controls. I love effects like this. Right. Like ETB kill triggers. I think it's awesome. And then whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, exile it and put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. Woo, man, this card
is really good.
I start getting really skeptical about a card's power level when it gets up to 6 mana. Yeah. But this card it does it pretty well.
I'd say. Blow something up and then buff all your dudes.
Yeah, it's not even just when he comes in, just whenever.
Right. So and he can do both of those in one turn.
Yeah. So
like as soon as you play him.
So this card's pretty powerful for the vampire deck.
How about New Blood?
New Blood is 2 and 2 black. For a sorcery that says as additional cost to cast New Blood, tap and untap vampire you control. Gain control of target creature. Change the text of that creature by replacing all instances of one creature type with vampire. So this like steals your opponent's Elvish champion, and then it gives other vampires +1/+1 in Forest Walk. It's pretty cool. And then it's pretty cool that we have Olivia Voldaren in the art.
Yeah.
Of this. It's pretty flavorful.
Which, another thing I was kind of hoping for that we'd see in this deck, since the commander decks can pull from any like period of Magic.
Yeah.
I was hoping we'd see a pre-Spark Sword. But Alas, we didn't.
Or like Krovax.
Sure.
Or Singer Vampire.
Or Baron Singer.
Yep. Or there's the female one, Irini Singer or whatever.
I haven't got a clue.
She's like the female one. Yep. Bloodline Necromancer is 5 for a 3/2 with lifelink. Is a wizard as well. And then when Bloodline Necromancer enters the battlefield, you may return target vampire or wizard you control from your graveyard to the battlefield, which is awesome because it's like a crossover type thing.
Yeah.
It gets either one. Yeah. That's just some awesome utility there. And I like that it has lifelink. I think the lifelink really justifies the 5 mana cost.
Yeah. How about Keru Mindeater?
I'm trying to look at Crimson Honor Guard, Brandon. I've been trying to look at that card for the past 3 cards.
Fine.
Crimson Honor Guard is 5 for a 4/5 and is awesome. It's got trample. It's a vampire knight. Vampire knights are pretty cool. If it were a vampire warrior, I would have liked it more. But at the beginning of each player's end step, Crimson Honor Guard deals 4 damage to that player unless he or she controls a commander. It's awesome. Like, jeez. Like, it punishes your opponent for not playing their commander.
And then what you do is you play this guy, like, shit, I gotta play my commander, and play him and kill it.
Yep. It like baits the commander out, right? And then just to get killed off.
So talking about playing your commanders, how about probably one of the best cards to come out of the set? Bloodsworn Steward.
Ah, yeah. Also a vampire knight. I wish it were a vampire warrior so much.
Which it was a vampire soldier.
God, it looks so good. Look at that. He looks so badass. 2 and 2 red for a 4/4 with flying. Commander creatures you control have +2/+2.5 haste. It's so good.
I just tell you, just 2 and 2 red for a 4/4 with flying in red. Repeat that one more time, in red.
Yeah. Like that right there. But that card is good. It's like what's that card that does stuff for commanders?
Bastion Protector?
Yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of. But this card is just awesome.
Yeah.
It's
fantastic. Like, I would love, and he probably will go into my Tajik deck.
Just because.
You know, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, having these like come out has made me a little bit want to go back and revisit the Olivia Valderan deck, but I don't know. Like,
right.
I don't know. I don't really. It's not that I don't like the ideas of vampires being in white. I just don't want like another 3-color deck. I don't know. I feel like I've played the 3-color game pretty well,
pretty extensively,
and like I just kind of want to go back to some simple like 2-color stuff.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
Keru Mindeater. What is this card?
So Keru Mindeater, 2 and a black for 1/3 with menace. Okay. Whenever Keru Mindeater deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles a card from his or her hand face down.
Okay.
You may look at that. You may look and play cards exiled with Keru Mindeater. Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't give you the whole you may spend mana of those or mana of any color, but still it gives you the opportunity, which is cool. So
yeah. If you're playing this, you want to target the player who is playing in your colors.
Yeah.
Basically.
So I think that does it for like the creatures and stuff.
I think it does.
We still have some other stuff to go over, but we'll hit all that stuff at the end. But we move on now to the last tribe, which is Sai.
I know. And that art for Analia, she looks like a cleric. She doesn't look like a wizard. That's all I'm with. You know, like some kind of dark cleric.
Yeah, I see down here how we have that garbage art.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start up at the top with Kes Dissident Mage. So 1 and Grixis for a 3/4. Human wizard, has flying. During each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. If a card cast this way would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So it like almost gives all the instants and sorceries in your graveyard flashback. That's essentially what it is.
Bad.
No, it's not. Especially like in those colors. You have a lot of like burn, you have kill spells, you have draw spells, you have counter spells, you have Well, I guess not necessarily counter spells because it's during each of your turns, but I guess you could use her for if your opponent casts something on your turn.
I'm sure there's an argument to be made for counter spells as well.
Yeah,
being played on your turns.
Yeah, sure. You know. But this card just seems really powerful for like a spells deck. Even if you're like, let's just say you want to play this as like just a blue-red spells deck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Which you can. You don't have to play the black.
Yeah, I feel like that's
if you want to play her.
Yeah, it's cool that it just, you're not like, it's not like blue-black, right? Or red-black. I feel like the fact that you can run like just like an Is It deck is pretty awesome.
Which would be perfectly fine.
So
now, what about Marcel the Pretender? Tell me about this guy, Travis.
What's the name of it? Marcel?
Marcel.
Sounds like a medication that you like rub on your feet. So again, we have 1 in Grixis for a 4/4. Human wizard, and then when Marcel the Pretender enters the battlefield, you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand or graveyard and put a cage counter on it. And then Marcel the Pretender has all activated abilities of all cards you own in exile with cage counters on them. You may activate each of those abilities only once each turn.
Go make a deck.
So this card, what? This card rewards you for casting this multiple times.
Right.
Okay, that's kind of cool, right?
All you have to do is start blinking them out, which you can't really do a whole lot in Grixis colors.
I'm trying to figure out how you really like take advantage of this. Like, what cards do you do this to? Like, I don't know, like Royal Assassin or something, like tap to kill something, or Razaketh, or turn her, or this. What is this? Is this a dude? I can't tell. This dude, you could pay 2 life and search for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I feel like this would take a long time to really get online.
Right.
And I feel like you would want to like pre-tutor for the cards or use like Buried Alive or something. Mm-hmm. Something to get cards in your graveyard to be used this. So like, who knows? Maybe this card makes for a fun deck. But just maybe not for me.
All right. Now we got to talk about the one down here at the bottom.
Yep. How about this one, Brandon?
All right, so Anala, Archmage Ritualist. You got 2 in Grixis for a 4/5 human wizard. And she's got events whenever another non-token wizard enters the battlefield under your control. If Anala, Archmage Ritualist, you want to say Archmage, is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that wizard. The token gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. And then tap 5 untap wizard you control. Target player loses 7 life.
They really phoned in that last one.
Yeah.
That last ability is so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, crap, we need to give this something else. Let's pull something out of a hat.
But like you play your what is it? Your Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
You get double Snapcaster Mage triggers. You play the one that does fork.
This card.
What it's called?
Oh, Dual Caster Mage.
That one. And then you get 2 Dual Caster Mages.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. I think this is probably my favorite out of these.
Yeah. I mean, she's great.
I just wish I could read it.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I actually have something to say real quick. Another little non sequitur about something semi-unrelated. A couple of it's on my Nazan,
yeah.
And on my Miri, I don't know, like it's like when it got printed, like the ink just wasn't as vibrant or something, but it's like the text is almost faded on my cards.
There's been a lot of complaints about that with this printing of the Commander set.
Really?
There have been people with heavily bent cards from the foiling.
Huh.
Luckily, all 4 of mine turned out fine. I'm not missing. People have been missing cards. People have been getting duplicates.
Whoa, jeez. Dropping the ball.
A little bit. So, I know you ordered yours. You didn't buy the, sets themselves.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, if I think you just might be shit out of luck since you didn't buy the sets.
Right.
But if you buy the sets and you have problems like that, contact Wizards customer support.
Sure.
And they will help you out.
Nice. That's pretty cool to know that they got your back. But yeah, it's weird. Like the ink is just like a little faded, like on the text.
Yeah.
It's weird. I've never seen something like that before.
No, because when I started reading shit about that, I went and I made sure I look at deck lists, look through all of mine to make sure I got everything.
Huh. Like, are people missing like
commanders and
wow.
Seen one guy got a duplicate of some card from Scars of Mirrodin. Go over the throat.
Jeez.
Got 2 copies of that, and you're not supposed to have 2 copies of anything in Commander anyway.
You sold me an illegal deck.
Yep. So yeah.
Yeah. This card reminds me of Riku of 2 Reflections, though. Anyway, back to Inala. The fact that you're able to copy stuff when you play it. Neat.
That's
And then last of the multicolored ones, we have Taigam Sidisi's Hand, which I totally overlooked this card.
Yeah.
So Taigam Sidisi's Hand is 3, a blue and a black for a 3/4 human wizard. It says skip your draw step. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. That's awesome. In the Sidisi deck. Boy.
Yeah.
Like just every turn. It's awesome.
It's almost like he was printed with Sidisi in mind.
Oh, that is insane. How would they ever have thought of that?
Right?
And then for a black and tapping this guy and exiling the X cards from your graveyard, target creature gets -X until the turn. I also think this is a little bit phoned in. It makes a little bit more sense than Inala, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the way that I play the Sidisi deck. Like this is almost like a delve kind of thing. But there's other delve spells in the Sidisi deck that are way more potent than this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But still, just for his like
his first ability.
Yeah, it's awesome. Good card.
Yeah.
Few more wizards to go through.
What about Vindictive Lich?
Yeah, Vindictive Lich. Vindictive Lich is 4 for a 4/1 zombie wizard, so he goes in the zombie deck too.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he dies, choose one or more. Each opponent must target a different player. Target opponent sacks a creature. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Target opponent loses 5 life. This reminds me a little bit of Kokusho, because it loses 5 life thing. Just like when he dies, forcing like your opponent, like something happens to your opponents when he dies. It's pretty cool. But the fact that each mode must target a different player is pretty cool.
Yeah. Now when he's got 4 power and 1 toughness, he's gonna die.
And you pretty much just want him to die, so that works.
And then if you're playing him in the zombies deck, just keep bringing him back.
You know what? Hang on real quick. I need to read something real quick because I forgot. Oh, okay. Just I wonder if they thought of this in development of this card. I was reading Lycia, and Lycia targets power,
right?
Not toughness. So that would have been insane. Yeah.
Oof.
That would have been awesome. So dodged a bullet on that one.
Yeah.
So what about Magus of the Mind?
What about Magus of the Mind? So there we go. So 4 in blue for a 4/5 human wizard. Pay a blue and tap, sacrifice Magus of the Mind, shuffle your library, and exile the top X cards, where X is 1 plus the number of spells cast this turn. Until end of turn, you may play cards exiled without paying their mana costs.
Jeez.
Okay.
So what? This goes in like the weird storm combo commander deck or something.
Probably.
Because it's just 1 mana after he's out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
who plays Mind's Desire anyway?
This is just some huge potential for sure.
Yeah.
A little too combo-y for me though, I think.
Yeah. If I'm not excited about it.
Right.
I'm like, is it Chemister?
Are you excited about Is It Chemister, Brandon?
It's so funny. And anything can happen.
All right.
Okay. So 2 in a red for a Goblin Chemister.
Ooh.
It's Goblin Wizard. if the website would actually have text.
I see what you mean now. I was wondering for a minute. I was like, what are you talking about?
You pay red and then tap, exile target instant or sorcery spell from the graveyard.
Cool.
Okay. 1 and a red. This is where it gets kind of crazy. Tap and sacrifice them. Cast any number of cards exiled with it as a chemister without paying their mana cost. Just got to make sure this guy survives.
And then your opponent has to make sure that they kill him on sight.
Yep. But if they can't do any of that, whew.
Yep. This guy can get out of hand pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you got ways to untap them, even better.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you do one thing per turn.
You can do it in blue for sure.
Oh yeah. You can very easily do it in blue.
Yeah. So
why don't you tell us about Portal Mage?
Portal Mage, not like that anybody would be able to actually read it on screen because they don't bother to update this crap. 3 for a 2/2 human wizard. It has flash, so everything is better with flash. And then if Portal Mage enters the battlefield during the declare attacker step, you may reselect the player or planeswalkers that the target attacking creature attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So you play it during your opponent's turn and make them attack your opponent, your other opponent. Yeah. Right? That's pretty cool. Yeah, and the art is really good, yeah.
Back there, I don't know how many people actually recognize it, but that's taking place on Vryn, the Jace's home plane. Because you can see the mage rings back there in the background.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't notice that. I did not notice that. Yeah, Portal Mage.
I like it. I dig it.
I don't even know what this is. I don't think this is a wizard? It is.
Colossi Lance Barask.
Colossi Lance Bass. Galecaster Colossus, as his friends call him.
Yes.
That's what they called him in high school. So we have 7 for a 5/6 giant wizard. Some pretty awesome artwork here. And then tap an untapped wizard you control. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. So it's interesting that it's that you don't control.
Yeah.
Still pretty cool. It reminds me of, I wonder if they have it down here. No, they don't. Yeah. I don't know, like maybe this goes in the ocean deck. I don't know. Like this guy just
because of the art.
Yeah, I mean that deck is very flexible on what counts as being ocean themed.
How many Leviathan wizards you played in there, Travis?
Not enough, apparently. So I think that about does it for those exclusive creatures. Yeah. So let's go. I want to kind of quickly go through these because the curses. I'm not too terribly big of a fan of curses, but something that I didn't notice that I just now noticed as I was scrolling past this before, it's like the same jerk in every one of these curses. This guy just can't catch a break.
Wizards did an article about this guy actually.
Who is? All right, so who's he supposed to be?
He's the unluckiest planeswalker.
Okay.
That's the thing. And each one of these takes place. They all look like they could take place on Innistrad, right?
Yeah.
But they actually take place on a different plane.
This guy looks.
First one, he looks like a jerk.
Yeah.
So the first one takes place on Innistrad.
That would be Curse of Vitality.
Right, and then the blue one takes place on Fiora, which is where Conspiracy is.
Oh, okay.
The black one takes place on Grixis, of all places.
Wow.
And the red one is on Ravnica.
That makes sense. I see that.
And then the green one is on Tarkir. So, fun fact. If you didn't know.
Tarkir, really?
Yeah, Tarkir. It's what the art description said. So.
Oh, it looks like Innistrad.
Yeah, all
the
five
wolves.
of them do. Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. But yeah, I just kind of want to go through these real quick. I'm just not too big of a fan of like these type of effects, really. Yeah. So Curse of Vitality is the white one. So for 3 mana, you're enchanting a player. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, you gain 2 life. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. So spreading out some healing to everybody except for one unlucky guy. Curse of Verbosity is the blue one. So for 3, you're enchanting a player. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, draw a card. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. So instead of life gaining, you're drawing cards. The black one is Curse of Disturbance, which gives everybody 2/2 zombie tokens.
And as everybody knows, 2/2 zombie tokens are terrible.
Oh my god.
Bad bears.
Oh my god.
Let's just move on.
Oh god, jeez. I'm trying to grab the tab off of my thing, and I keep pulling the whole window around. Curse of Opulence is 1 red to cast, and then whenever enchanted player is attacked, create a colorless artifact token named Gold. It has sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. I almost thought this would be like a draw a card type thing.
Yeah.
Like gold giving you mana? That seems weird. Like
we've seen it. I mean, the first time we seen it was in not Dark Year, it was Enchantments. Theros.
Really?
Yeah, with Guild. And then what's his name? King Makar.
Oh yeah. Gotcha. And then Curse of Bounty is the green one. So you're casting this one for 2, and then whenever enchanted player is attacked, untap all non-land permanents you control. Each opponent attacking that player untaps all non-land permanents he or she controls. I feel like this one's like the most chaotic of all of them. Makes for some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So what's next? Should we do the Kindred ones?
Sure. Why don't you start us off with the white one?
Sure. Kindred Boon is 2 and 2 white for an enchantment. When a Kindred Boon enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, and then for 1 and a white, put a divinity counter on target creature you control with the chosen type, and then all creatures you control with a divinity counter on them become indestructible. Yep. I like the artwork on this card a lot. It's like this like vampire chick, like with her hand like in an aurora. It looks like
human, remember?
And she's like riding a moose. She's riding a moose though. That's awesome. I don't know how I feel about this card.
No, I think it's the worst one out of the 5.
I
really do.
It's not bad. Like giving your creatures indestructible is really good, especially in like it's like a tribal scenario. But I don't know, man. Just something about this card just doesn't sit right with me.
No.
Like it just seems a little clunky. I guess I don't know.
So how about Kindred Discovery?
How about it, Mr. Blue Player?
3 blue. As Kindred Discovery enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card.
That seems good to me. I mean, I don't know. For 5 mana, like I almost feel like this would be on the scale of being like a 7 mana enchantment. Like 7 just seems like the number that I would like say if someone were to like explain this card to me and would be like, how much do you think that costs? I'd say 7.
Yeah.
It would be 2 blue and 5. So.
I'm still kind of on the fence on whether or not I want to put this into allies or not. And get all that card draw value.
I think you should. I think allies needs all the help it can get.
Yep.
Because it doesn't. It's another one of those tribes that hasn't really had like a ton of like support. You know.
Right.
So next up we have Predomino della Stirpe, aka Kindred Dominance. So 5 and 2 black for a sorcery. Choose a creature type. Destroy all creatures that are not the chosen type.
There you go.
That art is awesome.
It is.
That is a cool, like, tribal style board wipe.
It's expensive, but it'll get the job done.
Yeah. Kindred
as long
Dominance.
as it doesn't kill anything on your side.
Sorry, not Kindred Dominance. Kindred Charge.
Kindred Charge?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So 4 in red for a sorcery. Now, the first 3 were enchantments. Now this one's a sorcery. You can only play this one once.
The first Dominance was a sorcery as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't read that language.
Yeah.
4 red for a sorcery. Choose a creature type. For each creature you control of the chosen type, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. I mean, even though it's a bad deck, I am putting this in bad elementals. I don't care.
Yeah, this is
so good.
This is a game winner.
Yeah.
You cast this and win the game. And if you're casting it any other time, you're doing it wrong. Kindred Summons is the only instant for an instant that costs 7.
Yep.
So right there, it's like, huh? What? So choose a creature type, reveal the top card of your library until you reveal X creatures of the chosen type, where X is the number of creatures you control of the chosen type, and place them onto the battlefield.
So you got those 20 elves, you play this card, you get the rest of your elves out of your deck and you're done.
Yeah, there you go. This card is expensive, but if you're getting to the point of the game where you're casting it and you're like in a position to cast it, you're gonna. I mean, you better win. You better win at that point.
You just brought up the whole point of this card. If you are in the position to cast it,
right?
So if you're not, what's the point of casting it?
Yeah.
You've got 7 mana and you get to get 2 guys out of the top.
Yeah, very situational. So we are starting to kind of round off everything here. Tell us about Fortunate Few.
Fortunate Few. 3 white for sorcery. Choose a non-land permanent you don't control, and then each other player chooses a non-land permanent he or she doesn't control that hasn't been chosen this way. Destroy all other non-land permanents. We've seen effects like this before. This is just kind of different.
I like how it puts your fate in your opponent's hands.
Right.
You know? I also like that art and how it's like a goat and a human, or like a Kithkin or whatever that's supposed to be. And a goblin, and something else that I can't tell what it is, like an ogre or something.
I haven't got a clue.
Like they're like just on top of this like big spire.
Crater.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Pretty cartoony, really.
Which is great.
Yeah.
You know, we need lighthearted cards.
Yeah.
At least in the artwork.
Moving on, we have Traverse the Outlands, which is a ramp spell.
Yeah.
So for 5 mana, at sorcery speed, you can search your library for up to X basic lands, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. Yeah. Cool. I'll take it. When it comes to like getting a ton of lands out at once, like this card and like Boundless Realms, I'm honestly I'm not as excited about it as you think I would be.
Yeah.
Like searching for 1 land or searching for 2 lands to me is just a lot funner than dumping a bunch of lands out onto the field at once. Like that sort of like incremental card advantage you generate by searching just for a couple. It just something about it just does me a little bit better than effects like this. Not saying this isn't good, because this is definitely very powerful. Like, don't get me wrong. That's just a personal thing. Like this card is definitely very good in the green decks, in like the green-red decks, green-white decks. Like any deck that's running like just big creatures. Like I feel like in most decks that you're running, unless you're running like I don't know, like wizards, like goblins, elves, and stuff like that.
Right.
Like
which you really want to use this card in. It's stuff that you're using your lands for other things. You know, you're sacrificing your lands for stuff. So you need ways to get more land out. How you do it?
Like Gitrog Monster. How the hell do you spell that?
Gitrog?
That's what I thought. There we go. Yeah, Gitrog Monster. Getting more lands out so you can sacrifice lands.
Yep.
But yeah, just a solid green card. It's a solid ramp spell that...
Like if you're using your lands as creatures, you know...
That works too, definitely.
Yeah.
What about Disrupt Decorum?
What is Disrupt Decorum?
Right? It's when I read this card... Go ahead, sorry.
And no, I didn't know what to think when I read this card. But it's 2 red for sorcery. Go to all creatures you don't control.
Like, what?
Right?
I always have to remind myself, like, what goad actually is.
Yeah. So what is it?
It's until your next turn, goaded creatures attack each combat if able and attack a player other than you.
Yep.
So it essentially just forces all your opponent's creatures to attack your other opponent.
Yeah, which is fine.
Pretty cool.
It's a way to... save something for when you're on the back foot.
Oh yeah, like when
you can't do anything.
Yeah, like if you're about to die, you just force your opponent to alpha strike your other opponent.
Right.
Maybe just delaying the inevitable, but who knows? Maybe your next card is that board wipe you've been needing.
And then we get to one of our last cards here, Teferi's Protection.
Yeah,
it's a great card. This is a fantastic card.
That looks awesome.
So, for 2 and a white, it's an instant. Until your next turn, your life total can't change.
Wow.
And you have protection from everything.
Wow.
All permanents you control phase out. Travis, when's the last time we seen phasing?
Phasing is back, everybody.
So, what phasing does, if anybody might not know, I'm not going to blame you if you don't.
Pulled up the Hascon website by mistake.
Well done. While they're phased out, they're treated as though they don't exist. They phase in before you untap your tap step. If you've ever played against a Xur deck, I'm sure you're familiar with what phasing does because I'm sure it runs stupid.
I'm looking through cards that have phasing.
And then exile Teferi's protection.
Phasing is not a good, not a good
mechanic.
ability. Yeah, I see a lot of cards like Mirage and Visions. It looks like that's where the majority of these cards were.
All right.
We actually do have a few more here down in our artifacts and multicolored stuff. So Fractured Identity is 3 and 1 white and 1 blue for sorcery. Exile target non-land permanent. Each other player other than his controller creates a copy of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like I'm trying to just think of like the choicest of targets for it, you know?
Yes.
Like, I don't know, like let's say like Utvara Hellkite or something that gives your opponent just massive advantage. Like whenever a dragon attacks, put an 8/8 dragon in play. And then, so it's like, oh, well now, instead of you getting those dragons, each of your opponents gets to do that against you, and then you get to see how it feels. Like, I don't know, just stuff like that. It's pretty fun. So you create a... so, and I guess that works for ETB effects too, right? Mm-hmm. So you can destroy, like, your opponent's, like, Reclamation Sage, and then each other player gets a Rec Sage. So it's like a toolbox card, too, in that way.
So, Mirror of the Forebearers.
How about this card, huh?
So, 2 mana artifact. As Mirror of the Forebearers enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. And then for 1 until end of turn, Mirror of the Forebearers becomes a copy of target creature you control of the chosen type, except artifact.
It seems good for 1 mana to make it any creature.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wow.
You play this and you just play Mirror Tribal and play this and Mirage Mirror and
and Panoptic Mirror. Fractured Identity, like this person's seeing their reflection in something.
Right.
So next, Brandon, how about Bloodshig Medit Kriegsaxt?
So Bloodforged War Axe
That's the
is
one.
a 1 mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of Bloodforged War Axe equipped to.
Much
I love it.
Much X. Very sharp. Wow.
Yes.
I like this card, but I almost think this card does better in Tiny Leaders than it does in 100 card. I think there's other equipments you should be running in 100 card than this. Still cool though. Like, don't get me wrong.
But it's an arguably just outright better Bone Splitter.
Yeah, you're right. Just for 1 and then equips for 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what Bone Splitter is.
Yeah.
But who needs Bone Splitter when you have Cuerno del Geraldo? That's the famous saxophone player. No.
Tell us about it.
Herald's Horn is an artifact that costs 3, and when Herald's Horn enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the spells. Creature spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand.
So good.
Gives you gas. Gives your tribal deck gas. Yeah. I think this is like the type of like gas that decks like that empty their hands really quick, like elves and goblins, like can benefit from. Like maybe who knows? Maybe this is arguably like too slow for the elf or the goblin deck, but I still think it's like a good way to.
Arguably, it's a fair card.
Yeah.
It's not an Urza's Incubator or a Cloud Key.
It doesn't like refill your hand like crazy. It's just every turn you get 1 shot to, maybe draw an extra card.
Yeah.
So. Heirloom Blade though.
Ooh.
How about that card?
So it's a 3-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+1. Whenever equipped creature dies, you may reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card that shares a creature type with it. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom in any order, or in a random order. And equip for 1.
Seems good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, like
Really
just
good.
these super cheap equip costs, man.
Yeah.
And then it essentially just makes every creature replace itself.
Yeah.
Seems crazy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And this artwork is really awesome too.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it would have been kind of cool if this artwork were like Edgar Markov with this his sword, like he had that sword.
Yeah.
But, it's whatever.
Yeah.
No, this card's awesome. And when it's like, it's silly to say like, oh, this goes in the tribal deck, because it's like, yeah, I get it. All these cards go in the tribal decks because that's what this set is.
That's the point.
Last but not least, though, is Path of Ancestry. It enters the battlefield tapped. It is our land, our special land of the set, and then it taps for to add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1.
Great.
Can dig is good.
I mean, it's a command tower with benefit. And it's just battlefield tapped now.
Yeah.
But,
it's probably honestly why I won't really be playing this card, because it enters tapped.
yeah. I'll play it.
Sure.
Because I play bad lands like that. And I managed to win games every now and then. So, Travis, I've got a question.
What's that?
On a scale of 1 to 5, what's Commander 2017?
I'd say I'd give it like a 3.5.
Yeah.
I think that there's some places where they cut corners and had some missed opportunities, but then they also they did it really well on some of the other stuff.
No, I mean, giving them the benefit of the doubt, they're going 4 decks instead of 5. So they're trying something new.
Yeah,
which is great.
That is pretty interesting how they're doing that.
So
I guess I'm just so used to getting 5.
Right.
So I pulled up the deck list so we can just kind of browse through these real quick just to kind of see what kind of reprints we're getting. And I also have a HasCon ad in here.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So looking at the cat deck, we have stuff like Giselle Goldmane, Jareth, Leon, and Titan. We have a Kemba, Leon and Arbiter, Leon and Shikari, Raksha Golden Cub, like Sets Tiger, lots and lots of like Jetted Ohanon of Ephrafa, or Ephra of Brett Favre, whatever that is. Like the Fleece Main Lion reprint, Phantom Neshoba, which is an awesome card that like I always wanted as a kid and I would but never got. When I think they really nailed it with the reprints in this set.
Yeah.
Grappling Hook, Quiet as Spike, Sword of the Animus, Sword of Vengeance. Just a lot of stuff. Behemoth Sledge, Dreamstone Hedron, Lightning Greaves, there you go. Skull Clamp, Soul Rings in every deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Soul Ring is confirmed in every
White
so
Soul
Command Tower.
Cat deck. I think
the Ancestry is in every deck as well.
I just think that they really did a good job on...
But the cat deck, yeah.
Yeah, so now looking at the Vampire deck, we have Anwin the Rune Sage, Bloodlord of Vazgoth, Blood Baron of Vizkopa, which is one of those vampires that I was like, man, that card would be really cool to use. It's like not super practical because of his of how he gets his crazy buff of as long as you have 30 or more life and your opponent has 10 or less. But I was like, I always thought that would be kind of cool to be able to find some way to use him. And there you go. Now you have vampires in white, so you can.
Yeah.
Captivating Vampire, which I believe was a card that people were like, yeah, that needs to be reprinted. Drana, Malakir Blood Witch. Malakir Blood Witch used to be a force to be reckoned with in Standard.
Mm-hmm.
Skeletal Vampire. Freaking Blood Artist. Vampire Nighthawk. Just lots of good stuff, man. To go through all of these one by one and really... And to say every awesome reprint there was would take another episode's length of time in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
just talk about all the intricacies of the decks were built great.
Yeah.
So you can easily sit down and play these against each other and have a pretty fairly balanced deck unless you're playing dragons.
Yeah. Dragon deck, it's Hellkite Charger, Sunscorch Regent, Atarka World Render.
It's got all of the dragons from Dragons.
Broodmate Dragon, Draboka the Eternal, Golagon, Niv Mizzet, there you go.
Yeah, it's
Scion of the Ear Dragon, they put Scion of the Ear Dragon in the deck.
Yeah, they did.
And also we got Dragon Speaker Shaman and Dragon Lord Servant, the cost reduction creatures for that.
To be clear, the Niv Mizzet that's in that deck combo I play.
Combos with what?
That's not the combo one that I play.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the shittier version.
And then in the Wizard deck, we got Marchesa, we got Heavengold Lich, Arcanus, Azami, Lady of Scrolls. Watch out. We got... What else do we get?
You should have the Firemind in there.
Oh, yeah, we did. So we have both Niv Mizzets between these. Shadow Mage Infiltrator, classic. Seagate Oracle, I love that card. Yeah, I don't know, man. They just did a good job.
Yeah, real quick, scroll up back to the dragons and just check out that mana base.
The what?
Check out the mana base for the dragon stack, just so you can see it.
All right, so Crucible of Spirit Dragon, Haven of Spirit Dragon is so cool. Some basics, and then so come into play tapped, does not come into play tapped, comes in tapped, 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 tap, 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 tap. My God, dude. Comes with 37 lands. Let's see. It's like 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 37 minus 21 is... What's 37 minus 21? 16? So like half your mana base comes into play tapped. I don't know, man. Something's weird about this. Like, they should have put, like, what is that card? Like, Amulet of
Vigor?
I spelled that wrong. God damn it. My keyboard's all messed up. My keyboard's been doing this thing where sometimes it'll double type letters and sometimes it won't type a letter at all.
Right. At least yours isn't like mine, and when you hit the C key, it types it 5 times.
Jesus. But yeah, Amulet of Vigor. So whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped under your control, untap it. That would, like, it wouldn't really solve the problem because you're just, you know, you have like a 1 in, like at the beginning of the game, you've got like a 1 in 99 chance of getting it, but, you know.
It's a band-aid for your deck.
Right. So yeah. But all in all, like, they really did a good job of, like, putting a lot of the good stuff, you know, and like some of the stuff is even older stuff that it's not necessarily hard to find, but it's just like, it's all here in one convenient package for you. You know? So I think that's going to pretty much do it here for us on this episode there of Commanding Magic Season 2.
Yeah.
Doing an episode next week before I go to HasCon, and hopefully I'll have a good report on the things that I did while I was there and some fun stories to tell. But next week's episode is, I'll give you a little sneak peek. It has to do with me buying a collection. And the things that I got and how I feel about it. And that's all I'm going to say.
All right.
So
sounds good.
That's going to do it for this episode of Commanding Magic. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTubes. I don't even think I said this whole spiel at the end of the last episode. I don't
remember if you did either.
You know, I don't think I did. I wasn't on my game. We're coming out of hibernation or whatever. I don't know, dude. Yeah, like, check us out on social media. Give us a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you feel. We'd love to share. We'd love to share your opinions. We love to hear your opinions. Have a good dialogue with like-minded individuals.
Everything.
Yeah, I love reading people's feedback and things like that. So, look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, this is going to be Travis and Brandon returning to the Command Zone.
About Heather's cat that she made me get her. Now, did a little.
Oh my God.